Now, for the main event, we've got our founder and CEO, Mr. Kelly Olsen. Kelly, you're on mute, sorry.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Welcome, everybody. I'm so excited to talk to you today because I want to talk to you about, something that I believe is the biggest driver in our industry, in your business, in your personal life. And the thing that I want to talk to you about today is vision. As a matter of fact, I think the greatest responsibility that we have as corporate leaders, as founders, is to convey vision, is to make sure that everyone here, every one of you, even ourselves, day by day by day, that our vision is correct, that we know exactly what we are doing and where we are going, because vision drives activities. If we don't know really who we are, or we're not convinced that what we're doing is important, believe me, it's like running uphill. And yet, if we believe that we are part of a wave, something that is inevitable and compelling and important, everything becomes much easier and more intuitive. And so I want to talk to you a little bit about how we derive vision from what we're doing here at LoveBiome. I actually had this discussion in Lillestrøm a couple of weeks ago with our Scandinavian and Netherlands members. So I'm going to see if I can get it up and running. Can you see that? Cody, can you see that screen? Everybody see that screen?
Yes. Okay.
So the thing that I want to talk to you about is our business. Now, listen, you guys. I became acquainted with direct sales in 1978, and so I've been in this industry a very, very long time. And the thing that has always attracted me to this industry is that I believe that it is an idea that brings entrepreneurism and opportunity to the ground level. Obviously, entrepreneurism drives every economy. The big tech giants that start these big companies were originally small entrepreneurial businesses. And, literally every large enterprise worldwide. IKEA was once just a small entrepreneurial idea. And so that kind of, that's intuitive for those large companies. But what about the millions of small businesses that literally are the backbone of the foundation of every economy? I call them cottage businesses or cottage entrepreneurism. That is the world that we all live in. And believe me, cottage entrepreneurism is the foundation of our economy, of your country's economy. It's the small businesses, the people who take charge of their life, have an idea, and begin to develop an income for themselves. That right there is the backbone of seriously every single economy. Cottage entrepreneurism, now you can call it networking, you can call it direct sales. To me, they're names for exactly the same thing. Direct sales is nothing but a cottage entrepreneurial business. Network marketing is nothing but a cottage entrepreneurial business. Cottage entrepreneurial businesses like ours have always driven nutritional and wellness trends. So you think about the importance that what we do have to the overall good of the market and society. I gotta go, sorry. Mainstream consumer products have always lagged direct selling by several years. Sometimes we look at what's in the grocery store or in the mainstream shops or online or whatever, and we think that those are the cutting edge. The cutting edge actually has always been direct selling. Direct selling since the 1950s has always been 5 to 10 years ahead of mainstream businesses. And so this is the importance of our industry, of you and me, that we are bringing ideas into the world today that will be mainstream 5 or 10 years from now. And so people are hearing these messages for the first time from us. And sometimes that creates a challenge, because we are educating people on words that they've never heard before, ideas that they've never heard before. But think about the opportunity. When we started in 1996, when we started Tahitian Noni, it was the same thing. No one had ever heard of Noni. I mean, the number of hits on Google was zero. I mean, we started zero. And yet in a short period of time, I mean, within 1 year, we had competitors. And within just a few years, it had become available in retail stores. And so we were definitely on the vanguard. And that's exactly how how it's always been, to be honest with you. And that's exactly how it is with LoveBiome today. So that's why I'm constantly telling people, don't look at the way things are today and think it will remain this way forever. Always remember that the world is turning and progress is being made. People are noticing, messages are being conveyed, people are gaining awareness, and that awareness is going to lead to mainstream business. What happens is we want to be in the forefront as that occurs. There's always been a progression of nutritional science and consumer awareness. Think about this. Since really nutrition and wellness, the industry took its roots in the 1950s, there's always been a very defined progression that consumer awareness, blossoms, nutritional science, amplifies, and each step has actually ushered in a new era of awareness and innovation. Now I've got some examples for you so you know what I'm talking about. In the 1950s and the 1960s, it was the era of vitamins, minerals, and herbs, supplementation. Large companies like Nutrilite, Amway, and Shaklee, and Nature Sunshine products and other herb and supplement companies in our industry took root during this era. And supplements began to be popularized, and more and more people were talking about them. And soon, it wasn't too long after Nutrilite and Shaklee and NSP and others began to do business, that guess what? You began to see natural foods retail shops pop up on Main Street. And wasn't too long after that you would see them in grocery stores in the United States. At least we would see herbs and supplements and so forth in grocery stores. And I think about that progress from those individuals, those entrepreneurs in the 1950s that would hold their in-home meetings and tell their friends and neighbors about these encapsulated herb products or these encapsulated vitamin products. And it was a brand new concept and idea. And within a relatively short period of time, those same products were, next to the carrots in the grocery store. That idea has got to be a driving idea inside of us, because we know that what we are doing today soon will be accepted, not only accepted, but craved, demanded by consumers everywhere. In the 1970s and 1980s, it was protein and weight loss companies, large companies like Genesis and Herbalife and United Sciences of America and other very large companies in our industry introduced the idea of getting your protein in a very easy to take way. And this protein and meal replacements began to be very, very popular. Well, it was driven by this innovation, was driven by us, by our industry, by networkers and direct sellers and cottage entrepreneurs. And then the mainstream saw the popularity, saw the opportunity, and began to incorporate it into their business as well. And so this has been the way it's been forever. And then, of course, in the 1990s, up until 2018, it was the era of the superfruits. We experienced this on a very personal level. My partners and I actually were in the very beginning of the era of the superfruits, when literally no one had ever heard of these things. These noni and acai and mangosteen and other superfruits, they were literally unknown. And yet they gave birth to a 20-year period of outstanding wealth and business and growth and entrepreneurism. And the world became awakened. Now you talk to anybody on the street about superfruits, they know exactly what you're talking about. And most people that you talk to and touch, superfruits in one form or another is part of their everyday life. And so this has been the way it's been since our form of business, our cottage entrepreneurism, direct sales, network marketing, whatever you want to call it, began to take shape in the 1950s. This has been the way it's always been. And so the question is simply this: where are we today? What are we looking forward to now? What is the next era? What is the innovation today that will be mainstreamed 5 or 10 years from now? Where is the world looking today? Remember that cottage entrepreneurs, people like us, you and me, and our industry and our businesses have always continued from era to era and always been ahead, years ahead of mainstream businesses. In 2022, LoveBiome envisioned the importance of microbiome health. This is our inflection point. When Sean and Cody and I got together now almost 3 years ago and began to think about where the industry is going, where our passion was, what the new innovation is going to be that's going to drive business and drive entrepreneurism and drive innovation for the next 20 years or 30 years. And this led us step by step. I mean, there's a lot packed in this story that I'm not going to share with you this morning, but on another occasion, I could tell you the hours and hours, days, weeks, and months of discussion that we had as we began to realize and discover the importance of microbiome health and realize that this is the era that we are entering into right now, that the world is moving this direction. And not only that, but the era of vitamins, protein, superfruits have all led to the era of the microbiome. Everything step by step has prepared us for exactly where we are today. And so my question is always, do we recognize this? Do we understand that what we're seeing today, what we're talking about today, 2 years, 3, 5 years, everyone will be talking about it. Right now, we are finding individuals who have never heard of the things that we're talking about, who are receptive minds and hearts. And the opportunity is ours for the taking. But in a few short years, it will be hard to find someone who is not tuned into and expert in the importance of microbiome health, which will create a new opportunity all of itself. But imagine if we have a running head start at that. Obviously, the thing that became very apparent to us was the depth and breadth of research. This is our strength, our backbone for LoveBiome, because we don't have to make claims that people have never heard before or talk about something that is, on the bleeding edge. We simply have to invite individuals to go online and do their own research. We can help them by giving them links to key research studies and help them to learn the words, learn what a microbiome is and why it's important, and to learn about all of the impactful ways that your microbiome takes care of your body. that your gut microbiome, the bacteria in your gut, has a direct impact on every physiological system in the body. This is big news. And by the way, still, if you look out your window right now, most of the people in the cars and bikes and motorcycles and on foot have never heard this. This is still a brand new idea. And yet the researchers know this, the scientists know this, the universities know this. This is like a dam that's holding back this torrent of water. And soon the dam will give way and the water will rush and the knowledge will pour out like we've never seen before. You know, the idea that our brain and gut are connected. This to me personally was a big inflection point for my vision. When I began to read and learn and understand that my gut is my second brain, connected to my first brain, and it impacts things like sleep and mood and depression and memory and comprehension. Because I look at the world that we live in today, and I do not know one single person that would not be receptive to this message right here, to understanding how my brain and my gut, your brain and your gut connect and talk to each other, communicate to each other every single day. That impacts how I feel, how I sleep, how I operate. And then add into this axis, the skin. And you begin to realize our bodies are not random systems thrown together, but there is a connection. There is this communicative activity that is going on second by second inside our brain, carried by microbes, by bacteria that literally impact every cell of our body. Everyone, in the world of treatments, in the world of, things that we're concerned about, this is just a short list. Our weight and energy, immunity, athletic performance, aging, sleep, mood, depression, inflammation. You could add skeletal health, circulatory health, blood sugar normalization, everything that we're all concerned about and that we take treatments for every single day. Every single one of these are impacted first at the microbiome level. This is the power of one and the power of our message. And believe me, this message will not stay quiet for very long. As a matter of fact, you look at the size of the market. We estimate in 2022 the microbiome market. Now, this includes not just nutritional products like over-the-counter products like ours, but actually it includes pharmaceuticals as well. $700 million size of the industry in 2022. But in 2028, minus the pharmaceuticals, take the pharmaceuticals out, just the nutritional part of the microbiome market by 2028 will be 5.6 billion in size. This is larger than Noni ever was, by the way. This is larger than Noni ever got to be. This is a much, much larger business potential. We're expected 800 to 1,000% growth year over year from here until for the foreseeable future. And so if you want something to compare it to, you want to compare it to the superfruit era, Noni and acai, there's nothing to even begin to compare in the superfruit world with the ultimate size of the microbiome market. Now, just a couple of things that I just did yesterday as I was preparing for this. I just Googled microbiome health. You can see in the small type there below, it says about 119 million results in less than a second. In less than a second, it brought up about 119 million results to the search word microbiome health. There was an estimated, yesterday as I checked, there was an estimated 60,800,000 social media posts mentioning microbiome health. And yet it is still a secret. It is still unknown by most people, but you can see and feel the momentum. The health business prospects of microbiome. Today, microbiome health remains relatively unknown to consumers. This came from an article that I read yesterday about the business potential of the microbiome world. Even though governments, companies, researchers, universities' interest in microbiome health has increased exponentially, it still remains relatively unknown to consumers. Now, sooner or later, the research, the university interest, and the exponentially growing messaging coming from governments, companies, and researchers is going to reach the consumer level. You know this, and I know this. Within 5 years, microbiome health will be among the top 5 most important nutritional health topics discussed online and reported in all media. Microbiome health will become the most critical influence in nutritional health, beauty, and appearance, and food. Friends, we are in the era of the microbiome. It began in February 22. We are at the cusp of it. We are in the beginning of it. The pioneers always have the job of educating. We tackled this job at Marinda with Noni in 1996, and the rewards paid out for decades afterward. I can remember going to meetings and talking about Noni and with the blank look on people's faces, and people would get up in the middle of the meeting and stand up and walk out because they didn't know what we were talking about, and it was new to them, and it was tough. And yet, within a short period of time, do you realize with Tisha Noni, we had our first competitor within 30 days. It went mainstream within 5 years, and the amount of wealth, the billions and billions of dollars, not only in sales, but paid out in commissions over that period of time, dwarfed any other idea that came to light during that period of time. Companies copied us. Companies got on the bandwagon. Companies tried to steal our business, steal our brand, steal everything. We were fierce. We understood that we were entering a new era, and we did it right. We were the ones that did that. And we are the ones that understand this. We are building a brand, LoveBiome, that will stand the test of time and will lead the charge into this new era. So when people think about microbiome products, microbiome health, the gut-brain connection, our goal is that they learn about LoveBiome first. We can't do this alone. We need you, every one of you, in your conversations, in your posts, in your emails, in whatever way of forms of conversation you do, to get this vision, to begin to help us share and bring about the wealth of the era of the microbiome. So I'm going to leave you with that message of vision today. Very, very, very happy to be with you. I'm so excited about 2023 and everything that is coming. I'm excited about our future. There's one last thing that I want to tell you before I leave, Cody, if it's okay.
Sure.
We just received word that our amazing body souffle is en route to every one of our warehouses in Taiwan, in Europe, and in the United States. LoveBiome is a product of love that we have been anxiously waiting for. All of you who ordered your LTO 10 packs in Las Vegas or since, those will begin to be shipping on December 19th. And then on January 2nd, we'll begin to start taking regular and standard ordering for our LoveBiome postbiotic body souffle. This will be a love affair that will happen as soon as you take the cap off of this product. And so if you ordered an LTO 10 pack, it will begin to ship from our warehouses around the world December 19th. And then on January 2nd, we'll begin to take orders and ship normally. So with that, Cody, I'm so happy to be with you. Merry Christmas to every single one. And I'll turn it back to you, Cody.
Merry Christmas. Thank you, Kelly. That was eye-opening. The flywheel is turning. This is so incredibly exciting. The era of the microbiome truly has begun. The LoveBiome really is. It's something the world needs now more than ever. Thank you, Kelly. Really appreciate your vision, your leadership. We're grateful for you and all that you shared with us.